Guys, Hamad Benaicha here from undoit.ca. If you are located anywhere in Canada and if you have a MacBook that has liquid damage, that has a broken LCD, the MacBook with a GPU problem, a MacBook that doesn't turn on, a MacBook that does not charge, a MacBook with no backlight, a MacBook with a USB-C, USB, HDMI ports not working, MacBook that needs a new trackpad, a new keyboard, or a MacBook with a lock on it, whatever it is, you name it, we can undo it. I hope you will enjoy the next video repair. Thanks for watching. Well, hi guys, comme d'habitude, un petit coucou, un petit bonjour à nos amis francophones. Today we're working on a MacBook Pro 17-inch. It has a GPU problem. GPU stands for Graphic Processing Unit, and it's also a fancy word for video card. Okay, so this MacBook, it came from a computer store in from Alberta, okay, and they sent it over to us to have it fixed. So let me turn it on and see if you can see the problem. Here you go. See those lines over here? That's an indication that is a GPU problem. Okay, now it could be those lines. It could be sometimes that you get a gray screen. It could be that the MacBook will start by itself. I mean, it could be so many different symptoms, or the GPU is getting very hot. But very often you see those lines. Okay, so if you see those lines and you have a MacBook Pro 17-inch, a MacBook Pro 15-inch, year 2011, or it's right now 2012, 2013, and you see those lines, it's pretty much a graphic processing unit GPU problem. So what we do here, we're gonna bypass the GPU, okay, and we're gonna enable the second GPU on board, which is the Intel one. See, like you're gonna get stuck at the gray screen. See, and so let's do it. Okay, so let's open it up. Excuse me. Okay, so there's a few things we need to do on this one. I'm gonna go through it quickly, and then we're gonna do it together, and hopefully we'll have the problem resolved. Okay, now it might seem like what I'm doing is pretty quick because I've done so many of them, but first time it took me about 6-7 hours to do it. So just remember that. Okay, so first thing first, make sure you turn it off. That's already at the gray screen, so we can go ahead and plug the battery. Okay, now let's remove the board. So here we go. That's the keyboard connector, that's the trackpad. Let's remove the RAM. Speaker, CD-ROM, Wi-Fi card, the camera connector. As I said, always try to be very gentle with the camera connector. Okay, try to go on the side like this until it becomes loose, because if you break it, you're in serious trouble. Okay, let's unplug the fan. 1, 2, the connector, the LCD connector, and let's continue removing the board. I'm gonna remove the fan quickly. Okay, there's a bit of dust here. There you go. Remove the second fan. Two. That's a backlight connector, the backlight for the keyboard. Okay, what are we missing here? One here. There you go. That should do it. Okay, remove the DC jack here. Okay, let's put this aside for now. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm gonna dust it a little bit. Okay. Voilà. Okay, so what we need to do in this particular, okay, let me give you a run down quickly what's wrong. Okay, so that's the CPU over here. That's the GPU, graphic processing unit. Okay, it's AMD. Okay, the lines that you see on the screen before come from here, from this one over here. Okay, now there is a couple issues. Okay, you can go ahead and try to replace the video card. Okay, but it most likely will happen again. And the reason behind that is that this video card, this GPU, is connected to the video memory. That's the video memory over here, and it has to run through the PCP here. Okay, so every dot that every dot there is I don't know. Let me see if I can find one that has no. Okay, here you go. Good example. See this one over here, the dots that you see here. Okay, those are actually wires. They need to communicate with the GPU on this side over here. Okay, this is 2914, which is exactly the same. So that's the CPU, that's the GPU. Every dot that you see here is actually a wire that communicate to the video memory here. Okay, so the wires obviously have to run traces, they're also called traces, they have to run through the PCP. That's the PCP over here. Okay, and what happens sometimes, one of them go bad or get worn, or it's like a tear and wear, like everything else. Eventually, something go wrong. So you could try to replace the video memory over here, the GPU, but what happens is that when you heat it up, during the process of replacing it, it has to go very, high temperature. So what happened, the wire in here will actually start to, get back together. It will work for, 5 to 6 months, and will stop again. You'll get the exact same problem. So what I do now, what we do here, is that we completely disable this graphic processing unit. Okay, so how do we do that? We just kill the power. That's the GPU controller. That's what feeds the power to the video card. So we kill the power at the entry. Okay, and then we remove this. That's the BIOS. Okay, and we tell the BIOS moving forward. We just a small program. We tell the BIOS moving forward, don't look for the GPU. Go straight to the CPU over here. Okay, and problem resolved. Okay, now the CPU GPU is Intel. Okay, I've been doing that since 1998, so over 20 years. Okay, fixing computers for over 20 years, and during the time I've been doing that, I'm yet to replace one Intel chip, so they never fail. Okay, so here you go. So and then also once this is all over, we still need to modify the backlight a little bit. Okay, otherwise, if we don't do that, what happens is that when you close the lid, the MacBook's not going to turn back on. Okay, so it's very important that we modify the backlight a little bit. Okay, just jump a wire. That's all you got to do. But you got to know which one it is, and every model is different. So you got to really make sure you do it properly. Okay, so that's the backlight over here. Okay, so we're gonna get back to that later on once we modify the BIOS, the EFI. Okay, so first thing first, we're gonna cover this fan connector with a Kaplan tape. Kaplan tape is a tape that resists high heat. Okay, so we do that so we don't damage the connector. Okay. Okay, there's one important thing I should tell you in case you want to send it over and you want it to have it fixed. There is by modifying by disabling the GPU. Okay, there's 3 minor issues with it. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what they are, so you know, and that applies to all the models. Okay, whether it's 2011, 2012, 2013, all the way to 2015. So if you disable the GPU, okay, what happened, first of all, if you plug in external monitor to the Thunderbolt, to the Thunderbolt port, which is connected straight to the GPU, it doesn't work. So you cannot use an external monitor plugged in here. But what you can do, you can buy a converter on Amazon or online, and you can use a USB port. So that's not a problem as long as you're willing to buy a converter. They're about $40–50. So that's solved issue number one. Issue number two is that if you use Boot Camp. Boot Camp is for Windows. Some people want to have Windows, Microsoft Windows on their computer. Okay, when it boots straight from here, from the GPU. Okay, the defective GPU, so it's not going to work either. If you the workaround that is to use Parallel Desktop. Okay, if you have a Parallel Desktop, no problem. So those are two. And the third one is that if you use High Sierra High Sierra Mojave or Catalina or any newer operating system, the brightness keys on the keyboard don't work, okay, because there is a driver issue. It doesn't work. The two brightness keys, I'll show you after, don't work. But you can download an app for free from the App Store called Brightness Slider, and you can adjust the brightness, no problem. And people seem don't have any problem with that. I've done quite a lot last year, and there have been 0 recalls, and everybody seems to be happy with the bypass. And like I said, once you use the Intel, especially if you have an SSD hard drive, there will be no issue at all. Okay, so let's get going and let's fix this problem. Okay, so the BIOS is removed. So what I'm gonna do next, now that I remove the BIOS, is that I'm gonna put it on here, okay, like this. I already done one, just okay, and then we're gonna reprogram it. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, I already reprogrammed the BIOS because it takes time, and I don't want the video to go on and on and on. Okay, but usually I will put the thing over here. There you go, and then put it in the programmer. So I will put it here and then put it in the programmer. So this BIOS should be good. We'll test it soon. Okay, now what I like to do, I like to put fresh soldering to put back the BIOS. Okay, so for this I need fume. Excuse me, vacuum. Okay, here you go. So let's put back the BIOS. Go. I'm just gonna need a bit more soldering because we don't want that to come back since it's coming from so far. Make sure everything is done properly, test it properly. There we go. Okay, so that's done. Okay, now the second thing we need to do, there you go. We need to kill the power to the GPU. So we need to remove 2 resistors. Okay, done. And finally, we need to take care of the backlight. Okay, so we need to jump this wire over here, this sorry, this to here to here. Okay, I'll show you after. I'll take a closer snapshot of it so you know exactly which one it is. Okay, okay, so let's remove the dust over here a little bit. There you go. Okay, now this is micro soldering, so it's not really that simple or not easy. I mean, it's not impossible. This is not the hardest part, believe it or not. It's fairly easy, but it takes practice. Okay, if you want to do it yourself, this is your first time, it's not that, it takes practice, that's all. Okay. You know, we need to jump a wire. Okay, let's go back to it. Okay. Okay, so now what we need to do next, we need to make sure the wires is jammed properly. So let's move this out of the way. I use a tracker, okay, but you don't have to have a tracker. You can always use what is it called, a multimeter. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so yeah, it's good. It's much easier with a tracker, but if you don't have one, like I said, you can use a multimeter. So what I'm going to do, okay, first of all, I'm going to cut the wire I jump to here, and then what you want to do, you want to measure the two components, make sure they're actually short now. So how do you do that? You just put it on a resistance on ohm and make sure you get 0. It should be like 0 ohm. Okay, so from here to here, if it's short, it should be 0 ohm. Okay, there you go. As you can see, 0 ohm. Okay, so it's not easy actually using the multimeter. That's why I prefer the tracker, but and also I usually do it under the microscope, so it's much easier for me. There you go, you can see here 0 ohm. Okay, I mean, it keeps going up, but it's 0 ohm. Let me double check again with the tracker, because if we don't jam those two those two components, okay, what happened after is that when you close the lid, okay, the MacBook will not wake up. That's all. Okay, let me check again one more time. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, cool. So that's done. Okay, now we can. And again, I really For the video purpose, I really cut a lot of shortcuts because I need to program the EFI and put it in there, and it takes time. But I'm just going to save time for the purpose of the video. Okay, so what we do now, we need to test it. Okay, so let's put it back inside the case. Okay. Okay, let's put back the microphone first. Sorry, the speaker. So we don't have to reopen it again and put it back again. Okay. Time is very important when you do these jobs. Okay. Okay, so let's put this back in. So that's the microphone, and that's the speaker. Okay, connected. Okay, now let's put this in the case and let's test it. Test it first before we completely close it. So one. Okay, so sorry if my head gets in the way. There you go. So let's put one screw at least so it doesn't move. There you go. Voilà. So what we're gonna do, we don't have to plug in everything now because we're just testing. So what we need the keyboard. We need to plug in the trackpad, because if we don't, the fan is gonna go very loud and the machine is gonna become very slow. So keyboard, trackpad, memory. Okay, put the fan, put one screw, the other fan, put the CD-ROM so I can hear it, and the speaker so we can hear the chime. Okay, and give it a try. Let's give it a try. So turn it on and see if those lines are gone. Okay, so one important thing is almost forgot. Let's remove the battery. I forgot to plug in the LCD. There you go, all the way clipped, so it doesn't move. Okay, now we can try. There you go. Let's give it a shot. Let's see, we need to press the option here. There you go. Coming up. Voila. Okay, so I put a lock on the EFI. Pull 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't plug in the, what is it called? The hard drive. Okay, so let's shut it down. Good news is that it's fixed. Okay, we didn't plug in the hard drive, so let's plug in the hard drive. Let's try it again. See, those lines are gone. Okay, let's try that again. There you go. Okay, let's test it. Okay, good. Let's put the password. There you go. Problem resolved. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so now we can, now that you know it's working, we can go ahead and close the job. So put back all the wire, all the cables, and put all the screws, and problem resolved. So I'm just gonna shut it down. I wanted to show you, and that's it. There you go. And again, like I said, it didn't take very long because I needed to rush for this video. But by the time you do the program, on the F5 and everything else, it takes a little bit longer. But I just want to show you that if you have a GPU problem, whether it's a 17-inch, a 15-inch, whether it's model A1297, model A1286, or model A1398, if I'm one of these three models, I can fix it, we can fix it. Okay, so remember, we can undo it, undoit.ca, send it over, and we'll take care of it. Okay, you don't have to buy a new board, and once the job is done, it's going to last you a long time, because again, it's an Intel GPU you're going to be using moving forward. And like I said, I've been doing it over 20 years now, and I am yet to replace one Intel chip. So okay, so if you have any question, you can contact us on undoit.ca. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I look forward to making another video. Okay, and don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks, bye.